welcome to another edition of Friedman Adventures. As always, it's great to be with you all. I'll remind you all that while you are here to please subscribe and hit that little bell. That way you'll be notified when we have another show. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And if freshwater fishing is your thing, then my kids are doing Bass Bros. Same thing, follow them on YouTube. And they are on Instagram and also on Facebook. And one other reminder, Philip, are you still around? In case I forget your phone number, we have 3 trips coming up on the Amigo, and we have several other charters we're planning. If you want to get information on those trips and join us, because we'd love to fish with you, you can either do that by going to www.friedmanadventures.com or give Philip a call at 310-634-2865. I apologize to the person whose phone number that is if that's not Philip's. Okay. All right. So we hope you can join us. What a special show we have. We are graced with Fatima Herrera. Fatima, how are you?
Good. How are you?
It's good to see you.
Same here.
We are not used to having such a pretty person on our show. We have most of the time, old, fat, gray, kind of like me. The only reason I'm not gray is because I dye my beard.
Oh, wow.
But it's nice to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
You work on the Tornado out of Pierpoint Landing in Long Beach.
Yes, I do.
How tall are you, by the way?
I think
you're 5'2",
5.
right?
No, I'm exactly 5.
So you're tiny, and you must weigh, don't tell me, because I have Chinese, you must weigh 95 pounds.
105.
Oh, okay.
105.
All right. Yeah. So, that's pretty demanding work, right?
Very demanding work, but I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, I know, and everything I see out of you is that you are doing a fabulous job over there, and people love you, and you kind of, come on. If I'm going to go on a fishing boat now, I'm going to think about going with you. Who wouldn't want to? You're so pleasant, polite. I just met you this morning, and the little bit of time we spent talking was just delightful. You're really a caring person. I can see that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. Yeah, you paid me $20 to say all that.
Okay,
So
I will.
I'm going to up that, by the way.
Okay.
All right. I want to kind of go backwards, and then we'll end up on the Tornado, because I want to know how the heck did a nice girl like you end up in a business like this? And of course, I'm kidding. But so where did you find your love for fishing? How did that all happen?
I've always been a lover of the outdoors, and I used to camp a lot with my kids.
Did your parents start you in the outdoors, or did you find it yourself?
No, I did that on my own.
Uh-huh.
My mom was a single mom and always working hard, so we didn't really have time for those little mini family vacations on the weekends because she was always working. And once I got older, I realized the things that I wanted to do a little different. Not that she was a bad mom. It's just I had more time, and I had a partner at the time that could help me do these things. So we went out and did all the camping. Almost every weekend we were out in different places camping.
This was your boyfriend or your husband? Or
yes, my ex-husband. We did it one time. We went out to Ladder Canyon by the Calico Mines over there. Vegas.
On the way to Vegas.
Yeah. And we loved it, and after that we were doing it every weekend, going out camping, and I would see everybody wake up like at 4 a.m. I'm like, what are they doing? It's so cold. Where are they going? And they're all having like their tackle boxes and their fishing poles.
And you're thinking to yourself, these guys are crazy.
I was like, what are they thinking? I'm going back to bed. But eventually I was like, man, I woke up one day and I was like, I really want to try it. Like, why are people waking up so early to do this stuff? Like, I want to know. And I was like, I told my partner, I was like, hey, let's go get some rods and let's go get a little blow-up boat from Big 5 and throw it on the lake. And we did. We went out into town at Tahoe, actually. This was in Tahoe. And we went into town. They had the Big 5 there, and they had the little boat on sale for $150. And I was like, that's a deal. Like, we're going to get that thing. We got the little boat, and we got, like, some Shakespeare rods. We got 4 of them. So then Jordan and Violet are my son and daughter, so that they can have their own, and we had our own. And we went on the lake. We didn't catch anything, but we had a great time on the little boat. We got back into town in Long Beach because that's where I'm from, and we decided, hey, let's take the little boat into by Ballast Point, Los Alamitos Bay, and then they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna try it out. Threw on the boat, stayed out till 4 a.m. and caught our first bodies. It was a lot of fun.
I can imagine. What was that like? I mean, were you hooked immediately?
I was like, just the adrenaline is something that I've been looking for because I've always kind of been like a little daredevil.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do a lot of the crazy stuff I used to do when I was 18 and 19.
Like what?
Motorcycle stunts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were into that?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so you like that adrenaline surge. You like living on the edge a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So after having kids, I can't really do that as much. I don't want to leave my kids, without a mom. So I was like, I was searching. I've been searching for that passion. I did the Volkswagen scene. I had a 69 Squareback for a while, and that was really fun. I liked working on it, but fishing just gave me that adrenaline, that happiness, and then just being outdoors, connected to the outdoors, which was something that I really enjoyed doing from camping. So I felt like that kind of brought everything together that I've been looking for, that passion.
You have so succinctly put together the game plan for a happy life, as far as I'm concerned, because there are too many people who spend most of their life like this.
Oh, yeah. I see a lot of that.
Their mouths are open. And, they're missing all this stuff in the outdoors, including some vitamin D from the sunshine, seeing dolphin, whales, interacting with people.
The stars.
You've nailed it, right? And
yes.
Do you find some peace by doing this also?
I do find a lot of peace doing this. I just enjoy it. Like, it's my me time. Like, I don't get a lot of me time now that I'm a single mom. I take care of everything on my own.
Right.
My kiddos. I have 3 kiddos. I have my son Jordan, he's 9 years old. My daughter Violet, she's 7, gonna be 8 in June, and then I have my baby boy who is 19 months old. So I have a baby at home, but I share the duties with my son's dad, which has allowed me to do this job. He takes them on the weekends that I'm gonna be gone, and my mom takes the other 2, and it works out great.
Those are 3 lucky kids. They're gonna have a lot of great adventures in their future. I'll tell you that right now. That is awesome. So I did notice also you were really into the kayak thing.
That's my thing. I always tell people, I go on the boat and I tell people like, I like the boats, but my passion is in the kayak.
It still is.
Yes. No matter what. I love doing this as a job because I can put those skills into practice. I can show people how to hold live fish. I can show people how to tie up. I can show people, different stuff. That I learned on my kayak. So I think that's why...
You don't have a deckhand on a kayak, right?
You don't have a deckhand on a kayak, so I've done everything on my own. I went up north, and the group of guys that I went up north with, they showed me how to hold the lean cod because I caught one on my kayak, and I was like, okay, how do you hold this thing? Like, before it bites me, and then I hear you grab it like this, you close his mouth, and this is how you hold it. And then I remember that when I got the lean cod on the boat, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show these people how to hold these fish, because sometimes the fish look a lot better when they're alive still. If you want that nice picture, I think it's when you pull them out, let's get this picture out and take the nice colors of the lean cod on the picture.
Fatima, you are so right there, and plus the joy on the person's face is even better. So you've got this colorful fish, and you've got the joy, as opposed to 4 hours later, the guy is just dead tired, pull out a fish with no color, and it's a crappy photo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. And I think that's why I love doing this, because I get to put in all my kayak skills into practice. Like on the kayak, I have to find my own structure. I gotta tie my own lines. I gotta handle my own fish when they're alive. Not when they're already, hours later in the sack sitting there for hours and stuff. So I think that's why I love doing this.
And it sounds to me like, we'll cover all what you do on a daily basis, but it sounds to me like you're creating memories, that is a big part of how you see your job. Yes. That somebody's out there with his kids, they've caught this fish, and perhaps they're so excited, they're not thinking about a photo, they're not thinking about that, and you're there to say, let's capture this moment.
You're so right, I am. I'm one of the ones I'm like, hold on, right now. Let's take the picture right now. And then I get them and I'm like, oh no, this angle better. I could see your face better from this angle and stuff like that. So yeah, it's another thing that I learned in school. I did take like a photography class when I was in college. So I like to be able to use all the stuff I'm learning and still put them into practice. Because sometimes if you don't put those skills you learn into practice, they kind of diminish themselves. They go away little by little.
Absolutely. It's like, I speak Spanish pretty well, but if I get into a I can only imagine. My wife speaks Spanish, so I speak Spanish. But if she were not around, or I would lose that language. You've got to keep doing things, right?
Yes, exactly. So I think that's why I love the boat life right now, because I've been able to refresh and keep my skills going and learn new things, obviously, like the way that the boat life works, and I like that.
I don't even know if you realize it. I guess you probably do, but someday, 20 years from now, some guy's going to look at that photo that you were instrumental in taking and, talking to them about doing it, and just look back and say, God, remember that day? How special that was?
Yeah, definitely. You're right. Yeah, I'm happy to be able to help people create these memories and carry them with them, on the picture, on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever it is.
And so you're kayaking, do you continue to do that? Are you still doing that kind of stuff?
I do. I wish I could do it a little more, but like I said, with the kiddos at home, I have to focus on also, the real life, my real life, like my kids. They're my life. They're everything. And they're the reason why I am so fearless and tackle on so many things, because I can be like, oh no, I'm a single mom. I can't do anything but work. That's not true. From the time the sun comes up to the sun goes down, I'm cooking, cleaning, taking care of them, and then we still have like, oh, mommy, can we have some fun time? Yeah, let's go to the park, let's go fishing, let's go wherever, like I got them on the kayak before, and I have a video where my son's pedaling me around because he really wanted to do it. So I sat on the opposite end of the kayak and got to fish while my son pedaled the kayak, and it's just things that I want them to be able to do and be fearless and learn as a young child, because I didn't have a dad to show me these things as a young child. I want to be able to do that. I showed my kids how to ride a bike, like me, myself, not their dad. And I think that's very empowering, and that makes my connection with them a lot stronger. Even when I'm out on these overnights, because a man asked me yesterday, like, how do you do it if you're a mom? How can you be out here on this boat? And I was like, oh, well, you know what? It's my job, but it's also my me time. It's the time where I get to breathe in and out and let all that stress from the week go into the ocean and just be me.
And that is great if you can do that and make money while you're doing it. So,
exactly.
Your schedule you're a super impressive person, by the way. I am so impressed with the way you get up at the crack of dawn and then work. And this is not just on the weekends when you're on the boat, it's all the time. I can see that you are very motivated. You are a great example for me, for so many other people. But I think it's great that you have found this job that you can go make money, do something positive, and still, you need that me time. If you don't get that me time, take it from me. I'm I'm a recovering alcoholic. So I know when you get too much stress, you can make some bad decisions.
Exactly.
You need that time, and you found it.
Yes. So yeah, I'm so happy to do. I'm so happy that I was given the opportunity to prove that I could do this job. I am so grateful for that.
Well, who do you want? Is there anybody you want to thank for that? Or how did that all happen? And I also, just before you answer that question, want to make the point. This is not like you are like, well, I really can't do anything else, so I'm going to work on the boat. You've been to school. Yes. You were a nerd, an academic nerd.
Yes.
Well, you love school. Like the exact opposite of me. I was the guy letting the crickets loose at Bishop Montgomery High School and doing all that. It wasn't later. Later in life, I got a little more serious about school. But you've made a choice, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I made a choice. I was working at Healthy Kombucha, and I decided to leave that job because it's, like I said, after going back to school, I didn't want to be back to a 9 to 5 and be miserable and not be able to fish, because I wasn't fishing those 3-4 months that I worked at Healthy Kombucha. I wasn't fishing because I was working 10 hours, and I was coming home, taking care of the kids. And my mom's like, well, I already watch the kids while you're at work, so you can't go fishing. And I was giving up my fishing time for a 9 to 5. And I was like, no, I don't want to be back there again. Like, it started becoming like stressful for me. And I was like, I got to do something. And, the way that this happened, it was literally God. Like, just how it happened is like, it was meant to be. I was meant to be on the Toronado on this trip. And it was meant to be. I can just say that it was.
You feel like there was some divine intervention?
Definitely,
okay,
definitely.
Good.
I think because I've been asking God, like, please help me find something like to fulfill myself, to be able to do what I love and still be there for my kids and still be able to do everything I have to do at home and be a successful mom, single mom. And it just happened. Like, I was joking around. I told Sean, like, I was helping them cut the fish.
Sean is who?
Sean Terrell is the main deckhand on the Tornado.
Okay.
He's been on the boat for, believe, 11 years.
Okay. Pure Point Landing in Long Beach.
Pure Point Landing,
right.
Yes. And I was kind of joking, but I wasn't. I was like, man, no, are you guys hiring? Like, I could help you guys. Like, when the guys want to take a day off, I can come and cover. Like, I can't do every trip, because I have kids, but I can totally come and cover one of the guys when they want to take a day off. And as soon as I said that, Matt was on the other side of the cutting table, and he's like, I want to take a day off.
Perfect, right? You got a guy who wants a day off and somebody who wants to work.
Right?
Yeah.
So I guess he went and talked to Joe, and then Joe said, yeah, and they gave me the opportunity, and I worked really hard all the time, and like I tell him, like, don't try to make things easy for me. Like, give it to me like if I was one of the guys. Like, whatever task you're gonna give me, make sure that it's how the guys do it. And yeah, it's been pretty awesome experience.
So you were at the right place at the right time, you feel like, and you were put there. You feel that way, right?
I was, because I wasn't gonna go on this trip. I had to call out of work, and I was so stressed out. Like, oh my god, if I call out of work, I'm gonna get in trouble, and this and that. I'm gonna lose my job. It was just like, it was a really stressful decision. But I was like, I haven't fished in 3 months. I'm gonna do it. I called out of work and I went on the boat.
Work is watching right now. You're in trouble.
Well, I'm not working there anymore. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's in your rearview mirror now, right? Yeah.
Exactly, bye kombucha.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was meant to be.
Was it the best decision you ever made?
It's been the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
It was scary. I've always been scared of change. And I feel like that's held me in some bad situations at some points in my life.
That's human nature, so yeah.
But I did it, and I finally was like, you know what, God, please help me. If whatever decision I make it be the best one for me and my kids, and help me be successful.
Yeah.
And then it's been great. So far, so good. It's been really awesome. I've been getting really good feedback from my work, from the customers on the boat, and that makes me feel good. It makes me feel real good. Like yesterday, I helped a guy tie up. I said, oh man, that would have taken me 20 minutes. Thanks for doing that.
Awesome. Yeah. And are they surprised to see you doing that?
Yeah.
I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a male-dominated game, pretty much, right?
Exactly.
So do you feel like, how's that been? Has there been, you gotta be, look, with all these guys, these fishermen coming on the boat, some of these guys are hitting on you all the time. I know that. So how do you fend that off polite? You have to.
I think the way that I handle myself, I don't carry myself as a woman.
Right.
I grew up, I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. My sister's a lot older than me, so we weren't as close. I was a lot closer with my 26-year-old brother.
Uh-huh.
My little brother, I call him my favorite little brother. But I have also a baby brother besides him. And then I have all my cousins from my mom's side are guys. On my dad's side, I have a few of the girls, but I hardly talk to them. So my life growing up has been with all my male family members.
So were you a tomboy kind of, or?
You could say that.
Yeah.
Even in like middle school, my friends were like wearing lips, like those lip gloss and this and eyeliner and all that. Like I'm like, it takes me like 10 minutes to do this. Like not even, like probably takes me like 5 minutes. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I'm not super into makeup.
Yeah.
I don't carry a purse. I have a wallet. Like
I like
I
that.
don't carry a purse.
You've never carried a purse?
I probably did, like when I had the kid, my 2 younger ones were like
Didn't
little.
feel right to you?
It never did.
Really?
I swear, it just not me. I don't think I've ever purchased a expensive purse. Like all these women go spend like $300 on purses. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go put that on a reel now.
I know. It's like,
the new reel.
it's incredible. Some girl in China that I taught with said, can you find out how much this purse is? Because I really want to buy this purse. So I go, yeah, no problem. And maybe I can get it for you and then I ship it to you or next time. It was $3,000.
Yeah.
For a freaking purse.
And then they carry their whole house in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a whole other thing in China. Let me tell you, the whole face thing, but anyway, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So you got a wallet. You were kind of a tomboy.
Yeah.
But I don't care about that. There's still guys hitting on you, right? Yeah.
No, you know what? I think it's been obviously there's always people that I don't know, like on Instagram and social media that send me those things. Like the other day, someone was like, "Oh, hey, you want to hang out tonight?" I was like, "What do I look like?"
Yeah, really.
Who are you? That. Yeah, I was like, "What do I look like?" He's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "I'm just used to talking to girls like that." I was like, "No, not me."
Oh, excuse me 1 second. By the way, any beautiful women out there that want to hang out with me, I'm available. No, just kidding, Ruth. That's my wife. She'll kill me.
Oh my God.
No hablo inglés, mi esposa. So I'm clear. She didn't understand.
Oh, okay.
So you do get. Yeah, thanks, Ruth. No habla con Fatima. So you get a little bit of that, but you fed it off,
I do.
right?
I just kind of like brush it off, and I, when I talk to the guys, I'm like, "Hey, dude," or "Hey, man," or like, just like if I was one of the guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to it. Like I said, growing up with my cousins, like the Mexican people are like, "Hey, wait this, wait that." Well, they were like, "Hey, wait." I'm like, "Oh, my bad, bebe." I'm like, "My bad." They tell me like that because my nickname in my family is bebe, even though I'm not the baby.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, it just stuck to me. So my cousins from my mom's side call me that.
Yeah.
They're friends and, my family. My mom's like, "I'm not going to call you that anymore." So sometimes she's like, Fatima. I'm like, "Oh, that sounds so weird coming from you."
And that's a great name for you. I mean, because of the higher power, you feel like there's some divine providence in there. Maybe the Nuestra Senora de Guadalupe was guiding you in the right direction, or Jesus. I don't know who you believe in, or what.
Yeah. I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic, but in the university, I go to Cal State Long Beach, and there they have like Christian groups, and I do some other events, and there's so many young people, and that makes me so happy to see so many young people, worship God, and I'm like, okay.
Is that important to you, the religious thing? Yeah.
Yes, it is very important. I teach my kids how to pray, and my kids pray every night, and even though sometimes, I've had a rough life. I was married before to an alcoholic, so I had a rough life.
Yeah, my wife did.
Being young, married. I was married at 21.
Okay.
And I got a divorce in 2015.
Mm-hmm. So you got, you don't even know what you're doing when you're 21, right? So you ended up in a divorce.
Yeah, it's just,
And what else? You say you had a rough life, so.
Well, just dealing with a drunk life.
Yeah, it's brutal,
was
isn't
really
it?
horrible.
Yeah.
Actually, not brutal. It was horrible. And
What kind of things did you have to deal with?
I was a victim of domestic violence.
Okay.
And it was really hard for me to leave that cycle because I was so afraid. Like, I was really afraid, and I think that's why another reason why I love fishing, because I've grown to be brave and try out new things all the time, and that's what I love about fishing. You never stop learning. There's so many things to learn.
You are getting more impressive by the moment that you survived that, because that's an awful thing to survive. And I understand the trepidation that you have to. People say, "Why don't you get out of a relationship?" And they don't understand that
it's hard.
So much mixed up baggage in that, right?
Yes, definitely.
What gave you the courage to do it? How did you finally?
I talked to my brother one time, and he's like, "You're not happy. He's not a good role model to the kids. Like, you just gotta do it. You just gotta do it, and we're here for you." And I was like, "Well, where am I gonna go? Like, he's gonna come find me." And I'm like, it was a really, really scary decision I had to make. Leave my house at 4 a.m. when it's pouring rain with nothing, literally. Like, probably grab the bag of clothes and carry my 2 kids to the car. And I'm like, oh my God, if he wakes up, oh my God. It was just really scary thing to go through, but I survived, and I'm happy that I was able to get out of that. And
God bless you. That's fantastic that you've had this strength, and now you've found this life that is so fulfilling for you. And maybe you make a comment about this is working for you, but what about kids in general? Is the outdoors, fishing, those kinds of things? Do you think that's a powerful, good, healthy thing for children?
It is. It totally is. Like I said, I went through that relationship, and my kids kind of suffered through it too. So I wanted to give them something else to look forward to in life besides that stuff that we lived through with their dad.
Yeah.
And fishing, camping, traveling has really, really helped, because it was things that I didn't do as a kid, So I really wanted to do that, and I always strive hard. I just got a pop-up camper last summer, and I took it out the first week for my son's first birthday, my son Josiah. We went to Lake Tahoe, and I put the kayak for the first time in the lake out there. It was really great. I didn't catch anything. I'm learning my freshwater skills, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
But I had a great time. I mean, it's just being on the water on the kayak. It's just, you become one, you know, with the ocean or the water or the lake or wherever you are, you know, and it's awesome. It's fantastic.
I wasn't sure what to expect when I invited you to come to do this podcast. I saw that you had a big social media following. So, to be honest with you, you know, hey, social media following, we'll get more people watching. And I thought, oh, you know, it's interesting because you're a deckhand in a male-dominated sport, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into and what an inspiration you are. Seriously, I'm always looking for that because being an alcoholic, or, you know, I've been 10 years sober, but I'm always looking for, and you're right at the top of the list. When I start freaking whining about something that's tough in my life, I need to have somebody like you that I can look back and say, whoa, that was tough, and she overcame that, and there's my role model. And as young as you are, you can still be a role model to a 63-year-old man.
I appreciate it.
And you truly are, really, really are.
Thank you. I have heard, you know, obviously there's always going to be negative people, but I have heard, like, I have a friend from Halibut Slayers in San Diego, and he's like, oh my God, you don't know how many women you're inspiring when you're doing this. And I'm like, oh God, I really? I was like, yeah. He's like, trust me, I'll tell you because I know. And I was like, oh, I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate the feedback because sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I'm a girl. People are not going to like that I'm on the boat, you know. And then I was riding out of 22nd Street Landing a lot. I thought if I ever worked on a boat, it was going to be from here, you know. But just riding the Native Sun a lot, and I became friends with the crew there. And the guys that were regulars on there, and then they started inviting me, like, let's go on a twilight to Redondo. I was like, oh my God, me? Really? You guys are inviting me? Like, that makes me feel like a real fisherman. And they're like, well, it's because you're cool, you know how to fish, and you're not annoying. I'm like, okay, cool, that's perfect. Thank you.
And you're not annoying.
I don't know, I guess women are annoying.
No comment. So,
sorry, ladies.
Yeah, no comment from me. Ladies. So, tell me about your work schedule on the Tornado. What's it like? Because I mean, you told me you were on there till midnight last night cleaning up almost, right?
Yeah, almost midnight, yeah.
So take me through a day. What time do you get to work? What happens?
We get to...
How much sleep do you get? Blah, 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 blah.
That varies. That sleep varies, you know.
Yeah.
But normally, you know, we only run overnights. So we get to the boat around 7 o'clock and, you know, they check the boat and we clean the boat, wash it off, you know, get the sacks on, put the numbers on, and... then we load the passengers. I check in all the passengers. I normally go live on Instagram.
I see that, yeah, which is quite nice, yeah. And I can see how you're interacting with people and you're really welcoming and everything. It's great.
Yeah. That's just something that God gifted me with. I've always had this. Even when I've been going through stuff, I've always been able to put a smile on my face and nobody knows what I'm going through because I am able to leave my stuff, separate my work from home, you know? And but no, yeah, so I check everybody in, then I go turn in the money to the captain, like for the sacks, the jackpot, and you know the change. Then then we get to the bait barge, and I help the guys load up the bait on the tanks. And then after that, you know, we can have night watch. We switch it off, like somebody gets first shift, second shift. So
are you talking about taking the wheel or just being
night watch out in the deck,
sitting in the galley, or being out on deck?
Yeah, just to make sure everything's you know, safe. Right. And everybody's being safe and nobody goes over or whatever. Right. So either I take first, second, you know, sometimes I get a choice, sometimes it's made, you know, by, you know, the leader or
your captain.
The captain.
Who is that, Ray Lagme?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a really great person. He's very knowledgeable and I really enjoy working with everybody on that boat.
Yeah.
They're all very respectful people and they are all very welcoming to me, and that's made me feel really comfortable on the boat. They're like my family. I've been like taking food on the boat, you know, to feed the crew because we don't always want to eat burgers and burritos every day because, you know, we're going to do it all the time.
Yeah, it gets boring.
Yeah.
So are you doing the comida mexicana?
Yes.
You are?
Mexican, so...
Can you cook?
I can cook really good.
Wow. Hey, Steve, I think we have a new Friedman Adventures pro staffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. My wife's already flipping out. Yeah, Felipe, yo sé qué estás haciendo. No. But yeah, I think we do. But so you're making what, ceviche and?
I fried whole fish the night before, and just with a side of cilantro lime rice, and it was really delicious. Not to toot my own horn, but it was really good.
Yeah.
And then I prepared. I cut up all the stuff for the ceviche, and I separated the cucumbers from everything else because otherwise, if you put it with lime, it won't taste good. So I separated the cilantro in one container, put chile serranos with lemon, salt, and pepper in another container. Then I put just the tomatoes, lemon juice, and onions in a big like jarra because I don't.
Rico, big jar layer.
Yeah, it worked out great.
Yeah.
Then somebody donated fish, so I was like, well, you're gonna get the first when it's done. You'll get the first, plate, and it was great. It would taste really good. How's your
chili rellenos? Do you make those?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God,
They're a lot
favorite.
of work, but
they are a pain in the ass, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah, but they are so good. How do you make them? Do you make them with the jack cheese in them, or do you do it?
It just depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, I'm not picky with the cheese. I'm not like, it has to be this cheese. Just whatever cheese.
You're a dream come true for some guy out there. Let me tell you, fishing, cooking, all this great Mexican food.
I need to find a cook. I have to cook.
Hey,
I don't like cooking.
Did they try to turn you into a cook? I imagine you're a woman, so they say, "Hey,
she did
you
ask
can be."
Me.
And you said, "No way," right?
I was like, I do cook, but I do that at home.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm interested in like the, like the other work, the hard work.
Working on deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not afraid of the hard work, right? You like that. In fact, you crave that.
Yeah, it's what I like to do. Like, it's just something that I've always been a hard worker. I've worked since I was 16 years old. I got my worker's permit because, like I said, I was a good student. So if you had good grades, you can get a worker's permit at 16. So I've always worked. So I like working. It gets me through the day faster, and especially now that it's on the boat, I get to just enjoy the ocean and doing all this cleaning on the boat and just helping out people. It's great.
All right, so you leave at what time on the Tornado normally?
Normally we leave at 9 p.m.
Okay, so you've done all the check-in and you got the sacks out there and you do your night watch and then the sun comes up in the morning. What happens?
We get up around 4. Some people get up at 4. One of the crew members, whoever it is, gets up to cut squid. The other day, for the first time ever, I saw the squid we went to Catalina to make squid. So that was hard work. That day, I think I got like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, because it didn't float?
They did tell me like I could go to bed, but I was like, no, I want to learn. Like, if I'm in bed, I'm not going to learn. Yeah. So I'm going to get up and go watch.
Good for you.
Help.
Yeah.
So I got up and I watched, and I did one scoop because it's hard work. I mean, that literally, like, pulling that big old net to try to catch all the squid in the net, it's hard work.
Do you guys crowd it first or not? Or do you just
we put out light, yeah.
You put but do you use a crowder like at the bait receiver, a crowder when you get that? No, they do that in San Diego a lot.
Oh, do they?
But yeah, so the squid floats and then you take a braille and put it on. And it's heavy, right?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to move that big old net in the water, and I was like, man, why don't we get smaller nets? But I don't know anything. Like I said, I'm not a pro in the boat world. I'm learning.
That's why you're going to be successful, though, because you're open, to learning and say, "Oh, I know how to do this."
No,
you're not doing that.
No, not at all. When people ask me, like, "Oh, how do you get on the boat? Why do you work on the boat?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a kayak fisherwoman." Like, ask me about kayaks and bass fishing and stuff. I was like, that I can talk a little bit about, but
you're learning.
On the boat, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I always tell them that.
Yeah, I know what you mean about getting no sleep. There was a time, 4th of July, I must have been 18. And I was on the Redondo Special, which is where I started. There was a guy named John Dipley who was the captain. And he was like 500 pounds. And I was too 3 years ago, before I went to China and walked all over. And Dipley was laying in the galley of the Redondo Special. And the boat was rocking and his stomach was going like this. God. So it's like 4th of July. I'm 18. I'm looking on the beach. The fireworks are going off. I'm imagining my friends at these parties. And I'm going, "Hey, Dipley, John, it's not floating." And he goes, "Just let me know when it floats." And I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, I think it finally floated, but it floated like at 4 a.m. and we were there at 6 p.m.
Oh my God.
No 4th of July and like, come on, man, what do I have to do to make this squid float? Right. But yeah, so in terms of your experience, you're getting less sleep, but learning more.
Yeah, sometimes I do get less sleep, but like I said, like the guys are really awesome. Like if we're tired, sometimes I'm like, you go it's slow right now, go take a nap. We'll call you when we need you, and we all switch off like that. So it's a really great crew. I love it. I'm not saying I don't know the experience with any other overnight boat, but this crew is really great.
Really happy with the Tornado.
Yes.
Right. And you'd love people to come out and fish with you, obviously,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Don't be shy about saying that.
Yeah,
I'll say it for you. Join Fatima on the Tornado.
Please, coming out.
The squid, did it make a difference in your fishing? Because normally you fish live squid, even on rock cod, you'll catch more quality fish and everything else. Did you feel like it
we
paid
had
off?
a lot more like bigger lean cod that day, and then the sheep's head and stuff. We had quite a few that day as well. Was it worth it? Probably the passengers think so.
Yeah, but it was hard on you.
But it was hard.
You
on
were
me.
tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it saps up. Those are precious hours that normally you get some sleep, right?
Yeah. But like I said, it worked out great.
And you guys have been fishing where lately?
We've been fishing San Nicolas Island, San Clemente, and for the first time we went to. Oh, that was so sorry.
Santa Barbara Island.
Santa Barbara. So we've been fishing Santa Barbara or San Nicolas.
Yeah.
For the first time we went to San Clemente. For me, my first time was last weekend.
And how was that?
It was good. I think we went back to Santa Barbara because it was probably better Santa Barbara when they're doing all the fish counts and stuff. But it's been great either way. People are getting their limits and taking quality size fish home, and it's been great.
Good. San Clemente Island, did you enjoy fishing there? It's a different island?
I don't fish when I work. I have been told.
Well, I mean, when I
fish.
say that, I mean, I
enjoy the views,
that.
definitely. Yeah. Seeing a new island, like I said, I was like, oh my God, where are we? Like, I do not recognize this place. Like, I fished all last season on different boats. I went on my first 1.5 out of here on the Amigo, and that crew was really great too.
Oh, yeah?
Well. Yeah.
We have 3 trials. We go with Jeff a lot. He's great captain.
Yeah, it was really great experience with them because I was afraid. That was my first time going by myself. Like, I was going with Helen's son, one of my friends.
Yeah.
She's the one that got me into the boat life, and
Helen's son was. I don't know her, but I see her all the time.
Yeah,
She's running around on all the boats.
Yeah,
right?
she invited me for the first time, like I said, on the Grande out of San Diego.
Yeah.
And we went on a 1 day. It was a really rough day for fishing.
They do like the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. trips.
Yeah. We actually stayed out till 6 still looking, and we got the last bite, on the fish, and we were only able to get 9 fish on the boat. 2 of them were mine, and that was really cool.
Were you fishing for bluefin or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were fishing for bluefin tuna.
And you had 2 of the 9?
Yeah. So one, I was
Good for
obviously
you.
because this was my first time. I didn't know what I was doing. Obviously, so the deckhand handed me one, and I, hooked in hand, and I reeled in that one, and then I'm sitting there asking. Helen brought another one of her friends, Brandon, I think was his name, and I'm like sitting there. I just threw out my bait, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, so how does it feel?" I didn't even finish my sentence when the damn fish took off, and it was awesome. It was
I'll bet Helen was thinking, boy, I bring this first time around here and she shows me up. I don't know about this.
She was so happy. No, I love Helen because out of, a lot of...
No jealousy.
No jealousy. And that's really hard to find within females. A lot of the times, you have friends and they're like low-key, like, don't really like you, but Helen is just genuine, caring, kind person, and I'm so grateful for her because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting right here doing the boat talk. She's been on the boats for quite a few years, and she's really very respectful, and that's why I like hanging out with her because she carries herself well, and people like her and respect her, and every time we go on boats, they're like, man, you guys are so great to have on the boat. Like, we've gotten even from the ladies that have told us that, like, oh man, you guys bring such great vibes to the boat. I wouldn't mind going on the boat with you guys. And, it's just, she's awesome. So
when you guys fish together, is there a friendly competition at all? Just a little bit?
No, we just fish.
Okay, so you're just there for the experience, have fun. And if you catch more fish, no big deal.
Yeah, we just fish.
Yeah, that's a guy thing. We're always pretty competitive.
Yesterday
you know?
the guys were like, we had a side jackpot. I was like, what jackpot are you guys talking about? Like, these two guys were talking about. I was like, he did go in on the jackpot. He's like, oh no, it's just a side jackpot.
Yeah, so they're throwing in some big money, probably $100 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy won the jackpot fish. He's like, you see, you didn't go in on it.
So I imagine your tips are pretty good for you, I would think, right?
Yeah. I mean,
because you are super personable.
Yeah.
You add something to a crew that they normally don't have on deck. Guys are more, I would say, task oriented.
Yeah,
get out the fish, get it on the boat, clean the fish. You are more concerned about the experience of the person. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. We had this on this last trip yesterday. We had a father and son, and they were both seasick. Well, first the dad got seasick, and then later on, I checked on the kiddo, and he was feeling a little seasick. But I was like, you want to fish? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll take you. I told the dad, like, don't worry, I got him. I took him out and set up his rod, and I threw the rod out, and I was showing him how to use it, and they had a great time.
So they were sick and you were helping them out. That's lovely.
Yes.
A similar thing happened with me. Cruz Soto is a good friend of mine. He lives in Wilmington, and he was getting very, very sick. And I walked over to him and I said, how'd you like a hot cup of mayonnaise? And I made sure I had my video going. I think that video has like 30,000 views now of him vomiting after I said that. So, yeah, a little different guys are kind of spinning around. What's your favorite kind of fishing? I know you like kayak, but do you like to focus on? You sound like spotted bay bass was a big thing for you.
Spotted bay bass, sand bass, and calicos.
Have any tips for people about fishing kayaks and catching a spotted bay bass?
I only fish at night. I do fish in the daytime sometimes, but I don't like sitting out in the sun and baking myself. I have this thing like I don't want to get darker. So
that always cracks me up because I'm always trying to get darker, and then you're like not trying to get darker.
I'm not trying to get darker.
And that happens a lot. Because I've lived in Mexico and Costa Rica, and it's funny how that works.
It is.
So you're fishing at night. Is that a good time to fish for spotted bay bass?
It's the best time. I hardly skunk, and I'm not saying because I'm a pro. I don't think I've skunked in a year on my kayak, or maybe longer.
And so where do you fish?
I fish the LA Harbor.
Where do you launch?
That I cannot say. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. I didn't want to uncover. Okay, so
when people ask me, I say Cabrillo Beach, but I know I've launched out of Cabrillo Beach once, but I know they say that the parking lot closes like around 10 o'clock, so a lot of people don't like doing the night fishing there because of that. Then their cars get closed in or locked in the parking lot. But I love fishing. The thing that I enjoy about fishing is the peace.
Yeah.
That's what I love the most out of my kayak.
Yes.
Not that it bothers me to be on the boat with a bunch of people. It doesn't bother me at all. But I do enjoy my peace, quality time with me and my music.
Yeah, right.
So I'll go with maybe 2 other people. I don't like to do the big crowds on the kayak. I just 2, 3 people is fine, and then we go and everybody does their own thing, throws on their headphones on, and you're your own captain. You have to go find your own fish.
Right. That's
and I don't have a fish finder on my kayak. I got one for Christmas and I haven't installed it because I already know this place like the back of my hand. Like since I found this place, this person gave me this place.
We can't talk about this place.
No.
Okay. Secret.
It's not a secret.
Yes, it is.
People have found it because
But you're not going to tell them where it is.
They don't know where to park, so they haven't been going back.
Got you.
But this place, being next to those big cargo boats at nighttime. Like I don't know if you've seen one of my videos, you could see all that, and it's just like I love that. I just like the industrial environment. And just being out there. There's not other boats. Like you see a couple like people that have like the center console boats.
Yeah.
I've seen some people out there like once or twice, when I'm out there, but I just love being the secludity. Like I started in Los Alamitos Bay, like I told you. So many boats, so much boat traffic, and it's just like
too much.
Too much
going
on. I can't even enjoy the relaxation. I can even relax.
Yeah, that too. Very dangerous. Yeah.
And dangerous, definitely. But right here where I go, it's just so peaceful.
And you're looking up at kind of all that commotion on the beach, like you're looking at that and you're seeing that and then realizing you're away from all that, right? In a way? And you're in that peaceful environment that you're looking for.
I do have, like, sometimes I'm worried, like, maybe I'm too close to this boat. Maybe they're gonna tell me something. Maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, but it has always worked out fine. I go, sometimes when I do go, I like I said, I night fish. So I'll go, I put my kids to bed, I call my mom, come over. No, you don't have to do anything, just go to sleep, make sure the kids are okay. Get to the dock where I launch at either 9 or 10 o'clock, and you know, I fish sometimes till 4, 5. I've done like an all day, like when the sun comes up, still went out there.
Really?
I did that like twice.
Yeah.
I love it. I just don't do it often because, like I said, my mom is very limited on my fishing time. Like, I wish she was a little more supportive. I mean, I take that back. She's very supportive because otherwise I wouldn't be working on the boat.
Yeah, your mother's going to kill you. So
but she wants to have her time as one. I understand.
Yeah, sure.
So it's totally fine. I understand her 100%.
You need to tell her you're going to night school or something like that. Yeah, Mom, we've got that 3 o'clock in the morning class again. Kind of a strange professor. He's got insomnia. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, it's a fishing class.
Yeah.
I have to pass it to get my bachelor's, okay?
Exactly.
But yeah, it's just I love being out there. I haven't really fished. I have fished other places since I got that place, but I never enjoy it. So I'm like, damn, I should have just went over there.
Yeah.
Damn, I should have just went over there. You know, like.
And I like the fact that you have options. You have a couple of AA degrees, right? You're studying for a bachelor's degree still?
Yes. I'm on my last year at Cal State Long Beach for my bachelor's in social work, and I have AA in social science. So I really like history, and I have a one in sociology that I got at LBCC.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you have these options, and you've chosen this. I remember going to law school at Loyola Law School in downtown Los Angeles. I pretty much got in there because my mom made great prime rib for the president of Loyola Marymount, the undergrad. And so, I mean, I had pretty good grades, but my LSAT, the entrance exam was okay, And so I remember sitting in there like for 6 weeks going, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not liking this. But to tell my mother that she's not going to have an attorney in the family, I don't know if I could do that. So I quit going to class, and then 3 weeks later, I mustered up the strength to tell her.
Oh my
She said,
God.
no, don't worry. I just want you to do what. And so I found some things that I was more fulfilled at and more happy. You can't put a price on that. You can't put a price on happiness, can you?
You can, definitely not. You can't. I'm just happy that and blessed with this opportunity, like I said, and I hope that I gain as much experience as I can, and maybe eventually get my own captain's license.
I was going to ask you, I cannot imagine that you're doing this without your sights on being a captain. Just the little bit of time I've spent with you, you're way too focused on being a success. And when you find something you really like, I can see you behind the wheel, running
definitely.
A boat, and I've got to go on one of those trips. That's going to be fun. Are you working toward that?
Yeah, I just got the class. I haven't started it because like I said, I have a very busy life with the kids and trying to finish the. I don't want to bite too much at once because then it gets too stressful, and then you don't want to finish one or the other.
Right.
I just want to be able to finish and get my bachelor's already, so that in case. When I'm older, and if I'm not wanting to be on a boat, I have that choice.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. When I was going to college, I told my mom I didn't want to go to college. I really wanted to run a fishing boat or whatever. And she goes, listen to me, dummy. Listen, if you get your degree and you're on the fishing boat and you come to the conclusion at some point that you don't like the fishing boat anymore, you've got a degree. So you can make a choice like you're able to do. If you don't have that degree, you're going to be stuck on that fishing boat and hating life. And she was right. And that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if I am able to finish my bachelor's, I have to do an internship with this thing. And I was thinking like Ricardo Lopez from the Open Water Foundation.
Uh-huh.
He's got his master's in social work. If I can somehow work something out with him and do, my internship with him or something. Because I know the school said as long as the person that is like your... who's overseeing your work has a master's or whatever in the field, they can make that an option for me. Because the way it works at Cal State Long Beach, they assign you to a place. You may fill out an application in the class, and then they turn it in, and they look. they're trying to break you out of your comfort zone, I think, honestly. Like, looking at the way that things went on my last internship, because I had to do an internship last year too.
Yeah.
They want to break you out of your comfort zone. So we could see, hopefully that'll work out for me. I'm not sure. I still have to talk and make it happen. But I just thoughts in my head on how to finish this, get it over with, and get focused on the fishing stuff. And then I can, start the class and focus on the boat stuff and everything that they're going to teach me about the ocean and the waves and everything in those classes and stuff. I don't want to do too much.
Excellent. Is there, we're getting toward the end, believe it or not. This has gone so fast. It's been such a great interview. You are an awesome person. Any sponsors, anybody you want to thank or say hello to? Or it seems like you're tight with Oliver over at Fishing Syndicate, or maybe I see that.
Fishing Syndicate, I definitely love their Basin Lakes rods that I used on my kayak. Really awesome rods. I can't speak for anything else because I haven't fully used anything else of theirs. But the people that have made me and helped me build this Instagram and this Facebook has been like the smaller companies like Fish Hall, Fishality, LA Fishing Alliance, Casting Crew in San Diego. Like when I first started coming out into the communities was in San Diego. LP, Fishing Supply, a lot of the smaller people.
Yeah.
I like to support small businesses because I saw how well they got together. Like all the guys in the fishing community in San Diego, they're like my family and they've been really great. Then I came into my first freshwater event just to see. I didn't participate in the tournament, and I met Team Zapata, and there's just these really great people that they they also became family. And I mean, I'm probably missing a lot of you guys, and it's just not purposely, but it's just everybody that's been really helpful and has told me like, you can do this, girl, you're doing so well, or you're doing this, and you're being an inspiration for this and all that. And I love all the love and respect that I've gotten from all the communities, both LA and San Diego, and I'm really grateful for everybody. So I always like to, wear their stuff, like Chasing Scales. He's from San Diego. He makes hats, and Anglerets too. They're not small, but they're still like great ladies, and I appreciate all the support and stuff that I get from everyone, and all the gear. Some people do hate me for that, like, why didn't you get free stuff? And I'm like, I buy stuff from them. I don't just get free stuff.
Right.
I buy stuff from them to show them support. Scunbusters was one of my first people that I actually bought a jacket, and he gave me one, and I did like a little review on Instagram. His name is Anthony. He's him and his wife are Christian, and they were running like a youth group, and like I said, church and God's very important to me.
Yes.
So I really, really pushed that out a lot. Like,
awesome.
I really pushed his stuff out because I felt like he had a goal, and it was for the good of the children and for kids, for the youth, to help kids out of, bad situations and get them focused into something else and
something positive, like fishing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that was one of the ones. So everybody's been really great. I can't say that someone has been bad to me or whatever, or not supportive.
Except Steve, he's been kind of mean this morning, right?
Yes, Steve.
On your sound check, he wasn't nice. Just kidding.
Just say whatever.
And people, yeah, really, just talk to this old man. Just make him happy. So, and people can join you on the Tornado out of Pier Point Landing in Long Beach, California, right?
Yes, please come out of the Tornado Pier Point Landing. I have the link on my bio on Instagram, so you can go directly to that on my link tree. I also have my YouTube and my fish brain on there. I started on fish brain. That's how I got here, guys. I'm a fish brain person. I came from fish brain. That's how I got hooked up with everything else. So yeah, come out of Pier Point Landing, you guys.
What are your social media things?
For my YouTube channel is called Fatty Fishing. No G at the end. Fatty Fishing, and
Fatty.
Fatty. Fishing, and then my Instagram is Fatty Fit Cow 89.
What's the story behind that?
I love cows. cows.
Oh, really?
I want to pet cow one day.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? I wonder if I can find that. There's some girl in China sent me a photo and she had a pet cow in her house.
Yeah.
And I go, is that a pet? And she said,
they're
yeah.
very, very
They're like
sociable.
dogs.
Yeah.
They are. They're really great. I mean, I've
They
never
taste
owned one,
better,
but I've
though.
seen a lot of videos and stuff. And I'm really picky with meat, so I don't eat a lot of beef or chicken, or it's got to be like either cooked in my house or.
Are you a vegan?
No. I don't like to go to like restaurants and order like a steak. That's not me. I would never do that. No. But I love cows.
And then so we got Instagram, YouTube, and any other platforms you want to mention?
No,
People
just
can follow
those
you?
two.
Those
Just
two.
Instagram and YouTube. I'm not really doing too much of that right now because I've been really focused on my life at home, and especially learning on the boat. Like I've taken my GoPro twice and I haven't even turned it on because I get so busy right away. So I'm hoping maybe on the next trip I'll be able to find a spot for it, but turn it on and show people a little bit of what the boat work is about for me as a woman, and just for in general, all the crews. I guess all the guys on the boats work so hard. They work so hard, and I just hope when you're out there, tip them, you guys. Tip your crew, definitely, whatever boat you're on. I'm not saying come on my boat and tip me. Tip the guys on the boats, man. They work so hard to get this boat ready and even to get it clean. And even through COVID right now, everything is like bleached, and it's just, it makes you that experience. Like I said, a lot of people don't know how to handle a live fish. We do it all out. Like my hands are all like, I don't have bass thumbs anymore. Now they're like rockfish thumbs. But yeah, man, support your small companies, also support your deckhands and your crews if you're part of that scene, and just be kind to one another. I always say that, and that's it.
Fatima, I am so pleasantly surprised with this. I don't know what to say about you. You're a remarkable person. You've overcome a really tough part of your life. You've found happiness. You've excelled academically. You sound like you're a great mother. Your kids have so many great adventures in the future. Your work ethic is awesome. And you're a pleasure to be around. I can tell you that after spending this time with you. It's really been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this time.
All right, everybody, another edition of Friedman Adventures in the books. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Follow Fatima also. And as always, it's a pleasure to be with you all.